Where?
Right here, this little green deal on the side.
Let me see.
Right there.
Okay.
Push them on. Hit continue. Usually a half-second rise, and that pressure limit's fine.
Okay.
You can change whatever the flow rate the doctor wants. 12 for. You can do. You just touch screen it. 12 for 30 or 12 for 45. Whatever flow rate and what volume they want, you can adjust it. You just touch it, hit enter.
Yep.
If you want some different pressure limits, which I usually don't, not for an LV gram, 1,000
Right.
fine. The half-second rise is fine. This
Single
deal,
arm, right?
single arm. That's all you need. Because we're only going to do a single injection. This system here is where you're going to put your canister. There's going to be a ridge on the top of that canister that you're going to stick in here. You'll see it. Line it up with this arrow when you put it in.
Why was it so hard the one time we had it in here?
I don't know, but what happens is you do have to push it in,
And
okay?
then pop this over.
And then it'll pop over then very
Okay,
easily. So
okay.
push that canister
We
in,
couldn't get that
line the
in
ridge
for
on
anything.
on your injection tube with that arrow, push it down first, then pull this over, and it latches.
Okay.
You have a cap on top. Take that off. Do not touch the top. Keep that sterile. There'll be a tube in the carton. Keep the top part sterile and the bottom part sterile, half sterile. You can grab it in the middle. Okay? Now you have this here. You're going to hit enable, and you're going to advance your plunger all the way to the top now that the cartridge is in there. So that goes all the way to the top. Now your plunger's at the top. Connect your little piece to the top. Your saline or your contrast bottle's connected to it. Now you can reverse the flow. Hit enable and reverse it. Now you're going to suck contrast into the cylinder. Now that the contrast's in there, you can have a little gap about so much of air. You can either enable it and do it this way,
That just gives
Kind of
it a
a little bit
little.
and that's just giving it a push up to get the air out, or you can manually turn it by hand if you
and
want.
You'll see it rise.
And you'll see the contrast rise. When you see it coming out here, you're good. So you're good there. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to come over here to the table. Let's make it realistic. You're going to bring this over to the table here. You're going to drop off a long piece of pressure tubing. It's probably about 3 feet long. High pressure tubing. Keep it sterile. Hand it off to the doc. He's going to take it. At this point, he'll hand you that. You attach it to the top here. You've already removed the air from the cylinder. You attach it to the top here. Now what you're going to do is he's going to have you can either do it through this or at the bottom you can crank it to get the contrast to flow. So either way, enable, advance, but you got to go easy with the advance because you don't want to spray the dock. Okay. So I always like using the hand. I just do the hand, turn it clockwise to advance it, counterclockwise to bring it down.
How quickly will it?
You got to spin it.
Because you'll see it coming up and out.
So
and
you're going to run it all the way to the
flush
fluid,
whole
runs
line.
through the whole tube, and it's coming out. Okay? At that point, he's just going to say, okay, that's good there. Now you're going to turn this device like this. So if there is a remaining air bubble, it's going to go to the top.
Nice.
Now what you're going to do, I take a little hemostat, I just tap on it, and I advance my fluid, and he'll bleed it out to make sure there's no air in the line. Then you're going to advance it slowly while he connects it to his catheter, and it's going to be a fluid-to-fluid transfer. So you've got to have some of that contrast coming out. It's just fluid-to-fluid transfer, then he's going to tighten it. Then you're going to reverse it and draw blood from the catheter back up into the line to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So now you're going to have blood back up into the line here.
All the way up?
No, you'll see it right
It'll
to
just
here.
come into there.
Right to here.
Okay.
And when he sees some blood in there, he knows there's no air bubbles now. We know for sure there's no air bubbles. You also have a detector on here that's going to tell you if there's air bubbles. If it does, repeat the process. Turn it up, tap the line, make sure you have no air in there, okay? And sometimes there's not even an air bubble there, and it did that to me, so I had to redo the process. Once that's done, he's hooked up. He gave you your settings of whatever you want. You hit arm single. We're ready to arm. I mean, it's going to tell you what you didn't do. Okay, we don't have a syringe in there. We didn't close the drop front. We didn't advance the plunger. We didn't rotate the head and purge. We haven't done that because we don't have a cylinder in there. So now it's going to flash, and the light's going to flash, and it's going to say you're ready to inject. So just take your button. Doctor's going to step on Cine. He's going to say inject. Hold the button down. It's only going to deliver 45 milliliters at a flow rate of 12 milliliters a second, because that's what you set it for. And it'll be done. Warn the patient before you inject. Sir, ma'am, you're going to have a hot, warm flash. It's going to feel like a warm flash through your whole body. Just to let them know so they don't get scared.
And that's for an LV gram, right?
Yeah, for an LV gram. And when you're done, he'll just disconnect it, tip it up, reverse it, don't forward it, or you're going to spray blood and contrast everywhere, and bring it all the way back down, release the cylinder at the top, and it pulls right out the top. Make sure the plunger comes with it, because if you see that plunger sticking, you're going to pull that out and contrast it, the blood's going to go everywhere.